What's up? So this is about IMSTA FESTA. It was hosted in Toronto at the Ryerson University. It's called the International Music Software Trade Association, and what it is a bunch of music-related companies will come out and demonstrate a bunch of their new gear and programs that they're coming out with. And there's also keynote speakers. This year was Jimmy Douglas. There was like how-to workshops and master classes. There's also an Ableton Live demonstration that was near the end of the day. Alec Brady was doing the panel. Ableton. It's a really good conference for people to kind of meet and network with other artists and to see what kind of technology is coming out in the future, or like what is already out on the market. For example, I went by the Native Instruments booth and they had the Control S series like keyboards. I didn't know that Native Instruments had our MIDI keyboards. They were pretty cool. The thing that really got me was just how sturdy it was. It's really durable. I've touched their mixers before, and like even when you slide the crossfader on the mixer, it's just like. And I've got the same feeling with keys on the keyboard. It really get into making music. They also had the Machine Studio. Has like an on-screen display there, so it's definitely like really heavy with like using Machine and on the hardware. It's pretty cool. The other thing that was going on at the Native Instruments booth was the S8. I think again I didn't really get too much in all of this stuff, but I just got to see a little bit of what's going on. So that was the Native Instruments booth. The other thing that kind of caught my eye was the Wave DNA booth. They had on display Liquid Rhythm. I think these guys are actually based in Toronto. It's a really cool concept. If you haven't checked out Wave DNA, do it. They had liquid music and liquid rhythm. The way that it was explained to me was that they're really useful in helping you put your ideas down and inspire you to make music. How it does that is pretty interesting as well. Liquid rhythm focuses mainly on the drums and developing beats. You just have to look it up. You just have to check it out for yourself, man. Like it's really cool. I was talking to him about liquid rhythm, but also mainly focusing about liquid music. This was developed more recently, actually. The best way I can describe this is that it's almost like imagine being able to paint with chords, and that's like on its own is like what you choose the root chords and paint in your like progression, and it kind of like opens up your idea to chords and things that you might not have known before, like really interesting chord types that you would not be familiar with. Diminished, augmented, oh my god. But it's like a gateway to like learning more about it. The thing that also is really cool is you can actually change the velocity of these notes, and you can extend the duration of individual notes. I think it's exclusive to Ableton right now because it was developed for Max for Live. He was saying that they were going to release a VST version in the coming months. For both of them, I think it was like somewhere between 120 to 130. Don't quote me on that. They said that they were going to release the VST in the coming months, and it was going to be like 70 bucks, I think is what he said. This one's a doozy. The last thing that really stuck out to me, there was this program by Sony called SpectralLayers, and it blew my mind as soon as he showed it to me. I'm going to show you a video I have. It's not really like super descriptive, but I'll try to walk you through it.
Devastation on their high street, and much of that street is in fact now a crime scene, about half a mile of it, as police officers continue their investigation.
Now finally I'm going to roll in a little bit of that new reverb sound. Now watch, it's purple. You'll be able to see that reverb kind of rolling in.
People still coming to terms with a night of rioting which caused such devastation on their high street, and much of that street is in fact now a crime scene, about half a mile of it, as police officers.
What you're seeing here is the spectral analysis of the whole recording. So you can actually visually see the low frequencies, you can see the higher frequencies all throughout this graph. The lower frequencies at the bottom, and then your mids, and it goes higher. This program can actually effectively extract any element of your spectrum, which is fantastic because you can see in this graph, this is actually the police siren. So he brought in the new police siren, and it had a reverb on it, and he was able to adjust the levels of it and bring it in as much as he wanted to. But the thing is that he was also able to just take it out. The way he was able to take it out blew my mind, because it was just like Photoshop. It was just like if anyone's ever used the magic wand tool in Photoshop, he could just like highlight it and just like it just traced it, and pretty refined. And then he was also even able to just erase parts too. He had an eraser tool, and he was just like brushing away. Just like, yeah, it was just like Bob Ross for sound. It was crazy, man. It blew my mind. Anyway, IMSTA Fest was pretty cool. That's the main reason why I like to go to these things, is really to check out on all the cool gear and the new toys that are coming out. But yeah, definitely like Wave DNA and Sony SpectralLayers, like this thing was cool.